This recording is something that I've started doing with my little one to help him get to sleep at night. You're welcome to use this to help your little ones get to sleep as well. The twos are terrific and magical, and they can be very challenging for everyone involved. So if you're a mommy or a daddy or caregiver or parent struggling to get your little one to get to sleep at night, this will help your little one decide that they want to go to sleep, just like it's helped mine. First, let's get ourselves in the right mindset. Sometimes it can be hard to be calm ourselves first when our little one is freaking out or throwing a tantrum or just has some kind of need that they can't express or verbalize yet, but they're just trying to tell you, and that's okay. They're trying their hardest to tell you. And just like someone who doesn't speak the same language, they think louder means more understanding. But that's not always the case. So let's take a nice deep breath ourselves. Hold our little one to our chest. And put down mentally any tasks or to-do lists that are still open in our minds. We can always come back to them. They'll still be there. But our little ones are only little ones. Let's begin. So let's start holding our baby in our arms and taking deep breaths with them. Let's take a breath, baby. Doesn't that feel better? Let's take another one. Yeah. Now take a hand and hold your little one's foot. And say, let's say good night to our toes. Good night, toes. Let's give our toes a nice deep breath. Let's say good night to our feet. Good night, feet. Let's give our feet a nice deep breath. Now hold your little one's lower leg and say, let's say good night to our legs. Good night, legs. Let's give our legs a nice deep breath. Let's give a little yawn here. It feels good to yawn. Let's say goodnight to our knees. Let's give our knees a nice, deep breath. Let's say goodnight to our thighs. Good night, thighs. Let's give our thighs a nice, deep breath. Now gently pat your little one on the bottom, just like you normally would, to soothe them. And let's say goodnight to our bottoms. And let's give our bottoms a nice, deep breath. Place a hand on your baby's back and pat or rub gently. And let's give our backs a nice, deep breath. Point out your baby's shoulders. And let's say goodnight to our shoulders. And give our shoulders a nice, deep breath. Let's say goodnight to our arms now. Hug your little one, have them hug your neck. And let's say goodnight, arms, and give our arms a nice, deep breath. Let's say goodnight to our elbows. Point to your elbows. And let's give our elbows a nice deep breath. And now we're at our forearms. Gently rub your little one's forearms. And let's give our forearms a nice deep breath. Hold your baby's hands. Let's say goodnight to our hands. We're going to give our hands a nice, deep breath. Let's say goodnight to our fingers. Let's give our fingers a nice, deep breath. Now we'll go back up to our neck. Touch your little one's neck to make them aware of it. And let's give our necks a nice, deep breath. Now let's say goodnight to our heads. Have your little one rest their little head on your shoulder. And let's give our head a nice, deep breath. Let's say goodnight to our ears. let's give our ears a nice, deep breath. Let's say goodnight to our mouths and give our mouths a nice, deep breath. Let's say goodnight to our nose. Good night, nose. Let's give our nose a nice, deep breath. And finally, let's shut our eyes and give our eyes a nice, deep breath. There's nothing we have left to do except go to sleep. Anything to do we have can be waiting for us in the morning. Nice deep breath. Your parent or caregiver loves you so, so much. Good night, little one.